Hello everyone, like, subscribe and hit that notification bell for daily contents. Yes people, welcome. So basically there's something happening behind the scenes with Liverpool Football Club. Obviously new ownerships are still being discussed and new players are being discussed as well. Everybody knows about Jude Bellingham and Liverpool. We're trying to get him for the summer of 2023 and I believe that one is already been cemented because not a lot of teams are actually open to signing him. You know, he's a sought after player. He's a youngster. He's 19 years old. The world is his oyster. And you expect, you know, the big teams to come in for him, especially the way he's been playing in this World Cup as well. But there's another player Liverpool are looking at as well. Another young player. He's 21 years old. He's currently in the World Cup for Argentina and he plays in Portugal. From what I've heard from the sources around the club, it's an agreement in principle with him, so he could be coming with Bellingham hopefully in the summer of 2023. So let's talk about these people. Let's do this. Yes people, welcome to LFC Red Forever channel. So the player I'm talking about, as you can see down below here, it's Enzo Fernandez from obviously Benfica. He's an Argentinian international. He's currently at the World Cup with Messi and they're trying to win that. Yeah, obviously it's almost there, semi-final stage and it looks like it's going to be Messi's World Cup, isn't it people? It looks destined, isn't it? When it's meant to be, it's meant to be, as everybody says. Yeah, so this kid is a highly regarded player. He plays for Benfica. He's number 13. He's an actual midfielder, central midfielder that is. He's not a defensive midfielder. He's a central midfielder who could produce a lot of magical opportunities for the rest of the team. So as everybody knows, like, we can't rely on Oxlade-Chamberlain, we can't rely on Curtis Jones, we can't rely on the youngsters that's there at the moment. Fabinho is really struggling at the moment and he needs help, all the help he can get. I think a lot of people have given up on Fabinho for some reason, which I don't understand. When he had those nucleus players like Ronaldo and Henderson, when they were on top form, you know, doing all the running, he was one of the best midfielders in the world. But when you don't have that and then you keep chopping and changing in the middle, you're not gonna, you know, perform as you used to anymore because you haven't got those runners around you. We're trying to be a positional team, but it's not working out. We're better off like playing, you know, 100 miles per hour football and, you know, winning games that way. So with Enzo Fernandez, and from what I've seen from this guy, Dave O'Cop, he's a LFC reporter. Obviously, he reports only on LFC. He says, breaking, Liverpool have an agreement in principle to sign Enzo Fernandez in June 2023, according to reports in Argentina. So everybody knows Enzo Fernandez is Argentinian international. He's from Argentina. So if reports are coming from there, it must be something concrete, if you know what I mean, people. So what do I think of it? It could go both ways, you know what I mean? He can sign and he might not sign. That's the signing bit I'm really going towards, because we need young team that's gonna be hopefully together in the next 10 years, if you know what I mean, people. So if we have that nucleus of the midfield, like the age lowered, especially we've got like 28-year-olds like Fabinho and all that stuff around it, then we could actually compete for next 10 years, maybe slightly longer, if they stay at Liverpool Football Club, that is. And with Klopp at the helm, you know, can you imagine all that together? And then we've got new finances coming in at the same time as well. We could actually dominate the world of football if Super League doesn't come along anytime soon. So yeah, I can see this happening in 2023, two midfielders coming in, but we still need an attacker, we still need another winger as well, and probably another centre-back. So our centre-backs are aging. I don't expect Matip to stay in 2023. I think he's going to be leaving at the end of the season. I think he's reached his time at Liverpool. You know, we can't keep relying on injury-prone players, and of course, Navigator is going to be off. off. Oxlade-Chamberlain is going to be off. So if we're rotating like this, that should have been done a few seasons ago, but we know what's happened. Pandemic and then injuries hit that season. The season to forget, that is. But at least we qualified for the Champions League with Nat Phillips and Williams at the back. You know what I mean? So it shows like even with a weakened team, we could still like compete for the top 4 position. I believe we could get back in this season. I believe that. I was worried at the beginning, but you know, this rest in the World Cup made me think otherwise, if you know what I mean, people. Yesterday's game wasn't all that. You know, I'm tired of seeing our youngsters playing because they really annoy me. They're not physically ready. They're not mentally ready. We're just pushing 12-year-old on the pitch. That's what it looks to me when I watch our youngsters, and they need to like build up physically as well, man. If you look at the Leon youngsters and you look at our youngsters yesterday, like it's night and day physically. It's night and day and mentally as well. You know what I mean? So that's what we got to change in that academy, because not a lot of players come through the academy. I think Trent was the last one, and that's not acceptable. I'm sorry. You know what I mean? We need like a lot of players coming from there for the future of Liverpool Football Club, so we have representation in the pitch that's gonna fight for us through thick and thin. Yeah. So with Enzo Fernandez, can you imagine him and Bellingham and Fabinho in the middle, and probably another player on top of that? I said Amrabat from Morocco, but I can't really rely on World Cups. El Hadji Diouf was fantastic in the 2002 World Cup, wasn't he? When they beat France and all that stuff. So I can't look into things like that. I'm sorry, people, man. I'm not gonna put my eggs in one basket because of the World Cup. They're performing like this and like that. I've seen a lot of players that broken our heart, that come from the World Cup teams and you know come to Liverpool Football Club and done absolutely zero. So yeah, so we have to wait and see with the Amrabat. Yeah, that's what I got for you. It's not only from obviously David Okop. It's also from the Anfield Watch. It's saying the same thing. Breaking: Liverpool have reached an agreement with Benfica for the signing of midfielder Enzo Fernandez in June 2023. So there's a lot of people covering this around the club as well. So it could be true. It could be true. This player, like, you know, I like him. I like what I've seen. Obviously, that penalty was appalling, but I like what I see of him. He's comfortable in the ball. He could hold possession, and that's what we need. If you look at Liverpool's midfield, majority of our defensive side is just awful, and majority of our possession keeping is awful at the same time. If these things come together as one with these two youngsters next season, can you imagine how we could dominate that midfield? I've always said I've wanted Ruben Neves from Wolverhampton to come to the club, but it doesn't look like Liverpool are looking that way for some reason. But they were interested before Ronaldo, as I remember when Ruben Neves was playing at the first at the Championship with the Wolverhampton, and Liverpool was looking at him back then. But actually the price tag, you know, made them sway towards Wijnaldum. So yeah, these two players for the summer of 2023 with new ownership, hopefully. You know, like I love, don't get me wrong, guys, I love what FSG have done. Yes, I made a video of them, like what they've done to us, and we want them out in the past. But you know, like if you win that many trophies in 7 years, and with the limited resources that they have, they're not rich people. They're never going to be rich. They're never going to get money out of their pocket. They're never going to be, you know, like the Manchester City owners. They're always going to be what they are. And I think it's time we move away from that and, you know, stop being the nice guy. Nice guys finish last. I always say this. Nice guys finish last. We don't want to be nice guys anymore. We've tried to be, you know, playing through the system, win fairly. But as you can see, 1 point every season. I'm tired of it now. Everybody's tired of it. It's time for us, you know, to be at the top again and stay there for a longer time as well. Can you imagine? Listen to this, people. Like, you see Klopp managing a team with limited resources, and especially overachieving on top of that as well. You know what I mean? And winning every trophy possible in club football. But can you imagine if he had money as well? Can you imagine like how you could sustain this on a regular basis with money on top of that? You know what I mean? If you could do this with small budget, imagine with money how far we can go, and domination on top of that as well. Yeah, so that's what I'm looking at, man. I'm not like these kind of fans that's like saying Klopp out. You know, he's not signing the players that we all want. Klopp wants every player, man, but it just can't get it. Unfortunately, we've got ownership that's just here for Moneyball reasons, and they will never like get money out of their pocket because they don't have money out of their pocket. What you see in their bank account, the £1 billion, whatever they have, that's it for them. You know what I mean? It doesn't go above that. So yeah, hopefully, what I'm hoping for is the Arab owners come in and take over at Liverpool Football Club, so we could actually compete with the likes of City, Newcastle, etc. I hope you enjoyed this, people. I hope Enzo Fernandez is what you're looking for. I don't know much about him, but I've seen him in the World Cup to convince me a bit. Like maybe he could do things here and there with me. Like I said when I was speaking earlier, I don't rely on World Cups, but he's young, people. He's 21, so the future looks bright for him. And I've been hearing from a lot of Liverpool fans about him in the past as well. So if they try to convince me he's good enough, I have to watch and see, like at Liverpool Football Club, how good he can be, if you know what I mean. And the age brackets will come down slowly, and we could compete for the future, you know what I mean. And just drive the likes of City and Newcastle away from that top position. So yeah, that's all I got for you at the moment. I hope you enjoyed this, people, and I'll see you soon. Take care, everybody.